a defensive specialist and usually outstanding on serve, receive, and passing responsibilities. And there is the libero Beltran. She'll make the set to Ward off of the block, and Illinois gets the first point. For the Fighting Illini, a couple of trips to the semis back in the late 80s, but this their first appearance in a championship match. And for UCLA, it's been a while, 20 years since their last title.
And amazingly, they were in 7 of the first 14 title games, 50% of the time. Then they went 0 for 16 till this year.
Kidder crushes that one for the point, and we're even at 1 apiece. Michael Sealy, in his second season at 40 years of age, the National Coach of the Year this season, getting UCLA to the finals. And as an incredible coaching tree, played for the legendary Al Skates at UCLA. He has served under Andy Banikowski and Dave Shoji, 2 of the biggest names in the women's game. Point Illinois. And his counterpart tonight is his friend and former teammate when they were both young professionals back in the mid-90s. In his 3rd season, it's 38-year-old Kevin Hambly. One of these 2 Karch will become the 2nd youngest to ever win the national championship.
And the camaraderie amongst the younger group is amazing. Probably couldn't have envisioned 30 years ago that they'd be hanging out last night and having a few minutes to relax and congratulate each other, sharing a beer and getting ready for a title game, but very friendly, and that's the best kind of rivalry.
Kidder a bit long on the swing. Point Illinois and a 3-1 edge. Colleen Ward back to serve. She spent her first 2 years at Florida, transferred, came back home, was the regional most outstanding player last weekend, and had a well of a night on the Thursday night in the semis. We have the ace for Colleen Ward, who served nails in the 5th and deciding set in the semis.
And she talked about their 20-0 start, getting up all the way, rising to number 1 in the rankings, but they weren't playing all that well. And once they lost, they learned. They had a whole bunch of team meetings, including one called by the players themselves that Hambly loved the idea of. And since then, their focus has been much better, and they're off to a great start here tonight against the Bruins.
Kidder gets stuffed at the net.
This is exactly what Hambly wanted. He wanted that huge block by number 14 there, Liz McMahon, against the great outside hitter for UCLA, Rachel Kidder. So far, they've been able to shut her down. Wants that matchup a lot.
McMahon at 6'6", the freshman out of Liberty Township, Ohio. A tough matchup for USC the other night, and wants to be just as menacing this evening. Here she is up to block Kidder again, and that time Kidder went away from her and over the smaller blocker.
Both her swings in that rally, smart. She went away from the really tall end blocker, off the middle blocker's hands. She's going to have to do a lot of adjusting, and probably, as long as McMahon's up there, a lot more cross-court hitting.
That time she attacked the 6'3" Anna Dorn. The back set to McMahon, off the hands of Tabby Love. Van Orden tried to dump it over deep. Beltran kept it alive. Free ball, Bruins. Van Orden dumps again. The 5'11" senior from Aurora, Colorado. Interesting, Karch, both of the setters in this match started somewhere else. They weren't heavily recruited, and after a couple of seasons, both decided, we want a bigger challenge. We want to play for a national championship, and here they are doing just that.
I'm glad they knew they were going to the title already. I'm sure these coaches would have liked to know, too.
Her counterpart, Annie Lurson, on the other side, also spent her first 2 seasons elsewhere before transferring in.
Yep, a lot of transfers seem to be playing a bigger and bigger role in women's college volleyball.
There's a look at Lurson back home, the junior from Wheaton, Illinois. One of 12 Illinois natives on the roster, a lot of homegrown talent, 4 of them in the starting lineup, as the freshman Zoe Nightingale gets the kill for UCLA.
And UCLA is going to need that very kind of production. That's what we didn't see from USC's middles the other night, and made it a much more difficult task to beat Illinois. But they need the middles to attack a little behind the setter just to spread out the defense.
The pass from Reeves, Van Orden. She'll go to Tabby Love, who gets the kill off the block. The 6'5" junior from Canada. Her first year at UCLA since transferring from Minnesota. She's playing in her 2nd college championships.
2 critical transfers on each side of the net.
Michelle Barch with a kill for Illinois. We've talked a lot about Ward, but you've also got to mention Barch. She also had a 20-20 in the semis. 20 kills, 20 digs.
And she switched positions, actually. She was playing right side, has switched to the outside, and has surprised a lot of people with her ability to control the ball at her height.
Service error from Rachel Feldman.
Back to serve for the Bruins is Lauren Van Orden.
This is Lauren Van Orden in her second season with UCLA.
That's the kind of ball control that Barch has been exhibiting all year long, controlling opponents' serves.
Not the best of sets there for Reeves, and a chance for Illinois. Bumped back out to Barch.
Uh-oh, that's...
Van Orden did a little better with that one, and Reeves able to put it away.
That was awfully close, but that's what we call a chisel, when you just use the block to tool it out of bounds, and Reeves loves that shot. She's going to have to be careful, though, because Barch a lot taller than her. She keeps trying that too often, going to the well. She could get blocked a few.
Sliding behind is Aaron Johnson. That was so effective in the semifinals, and UCLA grabs the 8-7 lead.
Their blocking has been very effective so far. Tabby Love doing a nice job there. Number 3 of stepping into the middle and helping get 4 hands in front of the hitter out of the back row.
Bruins with their first lead of the match. Larson looking to Barch. Bumped up by Love. Barch gets another swing at it and gets the kill to even it up at 8.
Barch also doing a nice job, not only the ball control, but working it around. We saw her hit a super sharp angle off Tabby Love. Then she mixes it up and hits down the line. Good hitters have to be able to hit many different spots on the court.
Sets the middle, and Aquino with the kill. Point UCLA. Let's address what a lot of folks here in San Antonio are talking about, the quicker tempo that UCLA likes to play at and how that can work to their advantage.
Well, they have to beat their opponents, especially Illinois, with speed. They're shorter, but they can use that to their advantage by being quicker. Obviously, Illinois's got a ton of height and really physical players like Barch right there, who crushes the ball out of the backcourt. UCLA's going to have to make up for it with fast tempo and better defense. Watch Barch right there through the hands or over the hands of Kidder and threading the needle for a point. Illinois tying it up 9-all.
3 kills already for Barch, a converted basketball player. Backdoor block from UCLA, point Illinois.
Yeah, she played a lot of basketball, and one of the things that sold her on Illinois was that Coach Hambly encouraged her, not discouraged like a lot of volleyball coaches, encouraged her to play other sports, her other favorite sport, basketball. And what really struck her was how he came out to a number of her basketball games to watch. And he was sold when she stole a ball from the point guard and took it all the way down for a layup. That's when he knew he had something. But he, and I agree with him, he likes athletes who compete in more than one sport, use different muscle movements, motor patterns, helps prevent injury.
Service error for Illinois. Point UCLA. Kevin Hambly, his first appearance in the finals after a couple of Sweet 16s in the last few years. He's also served with the U.S. men's national team before he came to women's national team, before he arrived at Illinois. Ward, cross court, got it.
Boy, did she get it. We saw that against USC. We've seen that all year long. If somebody takes the line on her, she can rip it cross court. She hits with the best range of any of these outside hitters on the court tonight. We saw her hitting line time after time 2 days ago in the semifinals when UCLA gave her that.
Kidder into the 6'6" McMahon and sent right back at her. Good block from UCLA. Barch out of the back. Kidder off the tips of McMahon. Ward's gonna give it a go. Nightingale sends it back. Popped up by Lainey Guerra. The tip denied.
We got one of those rallies.
Match point in the semis went over a minute, and that one falls, as did match point the other night, opposite of Illinois.
Both middle blockers gassed again. They're the ones who have to do all the jumping every time the other team attacks, jumping every time on their team's offensive patterns.
Usually Karch would be impressed with a rally that lasted 43 seconds, but we've got one that we're going to show you later in the set that went 63 seconds.
That's like ho-hum, only 43, that's the best you could do.
Already being dubbed the greatest match point in the history of the tournament.
That's a mistake by Illinois to leave Rachel Kidder one-on-one. Even if it is McMahon at the net blocking, you've got to get 4 hands against her.
Kelly Reeves, the sophomore out of San Diego, whose mom was an assistant coach 20 years ago when UCLA won the championship. She was pregnant with Kelly at the time, and now her daughter out there in the starting lineup. There she is. A nice pass to set up Kidder, goes cross court, got it by the block.
And now Kidder showing even better range than Ward had. We saw her hit line for a point the previous play. Now on her 4th kill, hitting very sharp cross court. There's Kelly's mom, Jeannie, in the middle. Next to her, closer to us, there, dad, Mike. And Jeannie playing for UCLA, then coaching, and then bringing her daughter in the program.
She was an 82 All-American. The year before that, she was on the losing side of the national championship match, the very first NCAA tournament against Southern California.
And the other night, she was still lamenting that. You know, Bruins hate to lose. Like, I know we could have won that. We let that one slip away. Those are the ones you remember the most when you win a lot, are those losses.
She said, Kelly telling us the other day, she's learned so much from her mother, who was her former club coach up to the age of 18, and she headed off to Westwood. Here's Lurson, the back set to the 6'6" McMahon, right at the libero. Reeves with the tip out of the back and the kill.
Well, that is a smart shot by Reeves. She sees the blocker helping out, so there is space to the left there. And when you get the ball down in front of the opposing libero, you know you've done a good and deceptive job in attack.
4 unanswered points on the Reeves serve. Ward will try and end it, and does. Point Illinois. 3 kills for Colleen Ward, who is back to serve. And Ward tried to dump it over. Now outside to Kidder. McMahon slows it down. Barch rejected. Nightingale and Van Orden, the center over there. Timeout on the floor. UCLA with the 1-point advantage over Illinois here along the banks of the San Antonio Riverwalk to the national championship. UCLA with the slight edge over Illinois in this first set. Best 3 of 5 for the national championship. And UCLA very loose, very relaxed. Arriving earlier here at the Alamo Dome. A little dance fever in the locker room pre-game. And then they brought it out with them onto the floor as well. And even the coaching staff getting in on the act. Dance fever.
That's the one they practiced all season long, and the coaching staff promised they would participate if they made the national semifinal. So they did it on Wednesday, but Seeley did not join in. Thursday, Friday even, but finally today they got him for the first time in public all season.
A chance to become the first coach on the women's side that has won a championship as an NCAA title as a player and a coach. Winning with the UCLA men in '93, and now trying to guide his alma mater to the title on the women's side, and a kill for love. They've been very good all year, Karch, in opening sets in their 35 matches. they've only dropped set one 5 times.
They are a good, some teams are traditionally slow starting. UCLA just the opposite, and they need that and more against a very strong Big Ten Illini squad.
This is a 6-1 run going on right now for UCLA. Make it 7-1. And a timeout, Illinois. You know, we were wondering if there was going to be any kind of hangover or any kind of momentum coming in from match point for Illinois in the semis. And one of the more memorable moments in volleyball history. Watch and listen. And check out the time it takes in your upper left. Jupiter. Dug up. McMahon. Shaw free balls it. Birch. Good reach for Hagland. Fuller stuffed. Birch again. Trying to tip it down. Jupiter denied. They're going to try Ward out of the back. Bateman reaches. Ping-ponging around on match point. Beltran digs it up. Hagland with a get. Beltran gets one.
Wow.
Fuller, long, and Illinois wins it. Well, the greatest 63 seconds you'll ever find on a volleyball court. It crossed the net 22 times. Everybody on the floor got at least one touch, a total of 56 for that one.
And those poor middles who have to jump every time there's an attack were exhausted. Erin Johnson, number 12, the middle for Illinois, came to her knees twice. Her legs just gave out. Her coach asked her about it later. Were you celebrating? No, I just didn't have any more in me.
Made the top 10 in SportsCenter, but they even had to go with the edited version. It was too long to show.
Only here.
Great job by our crew out in the truck to put that together for you. To count all the times it crossed the net, and somebody got a touch on it. That was Thursday night. Now for the national championship, UCLA in blue, Illinois in the orange, and our first best 3 of 5 sets, point Illinois.
What a nice bump set. That's using your forearms to put that ball up in a very hittable position for Tabby Love. The bump set, of course, made by the setter, Lauren Van Orden, and it's hit just out of bounds. But boy, I like what she did on that touch.
Beltran serves. Guerra with the pass. They'll go to Love. Blocked by McMahon and Johnson. Same way, same result. They'll try it a third time off speed from Love. Chance for Illinois. Lurson looking out to Birch. Miscue on the UCLA side, point Illinois.
Now you can see the block of Illinois starting to concentrate on the outside hitting of Tabby Love, and eventually they neutralized her. They get themselves a swing for Michelle Barch, number 6, who notches the kill.
Tough pass by Guerra and a strong serve from Beltran. Point Illinois with the ace.
That's uncharacteristic of UCLA these last 2 plays, noted for their ball control, and that's one of the things that has gotten them to the title match, is the ability to keep the ball in good plays. Here they get the nice touch they want, and Kidder hitting against no block.
Double contact called on Ward after Beltran made a heck of a defensive play, but they did not get the block up on Kidder coming out of the back.
Illinois was cheating over toward Tabby Love, so that is a good choice by setter Lauren Van Orden to set behind her away from the Illinois block.
Lurson goes to Johnson with the quick, missed it wide. UCLA, oh, check that, they didn't get a touch. Tied at 18.
Johnson had a huge night the other night. She was a big part of breaking down that strong USC defense in the semifinal.
12 kills, 7 blocks. She hit .455. If you're hitting at 300 or better, you've got a good night. Off the block and down. Point Illini. They'll grab the lead back.
And again, we can see a huge block up in front of her, especially in that case, it's a mistake for Love to hit at the middle blocker when she has a smaller end blocker in number 11, the setter, Annie Lurson for Illinois. Got to take advantage of that mismatch. Let's see if she hits more line here. That was going out of bounds.
Birch got it down. Illinois 5 points away from the opening set, and UCLA wants a timeout. 6 of the last 7 points for Illinois. Well, Capital One Bowl Week continues on Tuesday on ESPN at 8 Eastern. We'll head down to St. Petersburg. It's the Beef O'Brady's Bowl. Florida International taking on Marshall Tuesday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN. For the UCLA Bruins, an impressive road to this national championship, including taking out the 4-time defending champ from Penn State and the #1 overall seed in the tournament, Texas.
And losing only 2 sets in the process, particularly impressive in this day and age in which it's rally scoring. Every serve scores a point. It evens out the advantage that better teams had in the old rules.
And I think everybody in the tournament was thanking UCLA for knocking Penn State out, because it has been an incredible run for the Nittany Lions, an unprecedented 4 titles in a row, and at one point a 109-match win streak that included back-to-back undefeated national championships.
The thing that impresses me even more is the 26 NCAA tournament victories in a row. 6 each in 07, 8, 9, and 10. 2 this year before losing. The next best team, 16.
Last year's senior class, led by Blair Brown, Ariel Wilson, Alyssa DeRico, they never lost in the postseason. They were 24-0 with 4 rings. And Mike Seeley and his club knocked him out and said, boy, what a difference it is coming to the national championships with the feeling like we got a shot to win it. And all 4 teams here felt that way.
And he was here 2 years ago when that great Penn State team was competing. He was assistant coach for the University of Hawaii squad headed by Dave Shoji, and that's soon after that he took the job at UCLA. But in that case, he said, hey, we're just happy to be here. We were on the chopping block once we got to the semifinals. Now we've actually got a shot to win, which he is thrilled about.
There's a block up front. Aquino sending it back on Barch.
You want to get your hands across the net, and both of them go that time by Aquino, reaching into opponent's airspace, cuts down the angles of the hitters.
Johnson sliding behind, no touch. Point UCLA, so out of the timeout, they score a couple in a row. Set is to 25, got to win by 2.
The blocker, if you're Illinois, that you want to go at is Kelly Reeves. She's the shortest one, playing in front of Barch. Let's see if Barch hits line toward her. She tries to.
Now Tabby Love, she does not have to deal with the 6'6" Erin McMahon blocking up front. She's on the sideline right now. Quick to Aquino, nice, get by Beltran. UCLA in transition. Back set to Reeves with only 1 blocker up. There's that quickness and that speed.
She loves that fast set. Some people call it a red, but what you want to do is set it so fast that the middle blocker can't get there. Space is open. That time Reeves took advantage of the gap between end and middle blocker.
9 ties, 5 lead changes already in this set. As Barch tools it for the point, even at 21. 6 kills for Barch here in the opening set. Kidder has 4 to lead UCLA.
Illinois sure playing like they have been here before, even though 30 straight years, Illinois never making the final. Coach Hambly finally getting them there on that 31st try.
Long way for Larson to run at it, and that allowed the UCLA block to time it on Colleen Ward.
UCLA's block having much greater success so far than USC's in the semifinals in terms of slowing down these 2 great outside hitters, Colleen Ward and Michelle Barch for Illinois.
Love at 6'5", Aquino at 6'3", were together on that one. Todorovic serving.
That's a nice play to take Coley Ward out of the play by serving her short, and then confusion on the Bruins side. Kelly Reeves could have played that, made a slight move, and then pulled back. Right here, Reeves thinking, I'll play it, and then she doesn't.
You might have seen, too, right at the end of that play, Birch's right ankle got twisted up with a teammate. Limped ever so slightly. A lot of room that time for Kidder. Let's go back to that Birch. Watch the foot there with her teammate coming by and turned it.
That's the reason she's wearing those ankle supports. The black that you see above her white socks. A lot of players like to wear those to keep the ankle from twisting too much. What a pass there.
Whoa! Wow. What a play by Feldman. Teeing up Larson, the center, who doesn't usually swing.
That was a nasty serve coming over. But Feldman doing a terrific job of putting it on the money. She's still wondering, what did I do?
That's a former walk-on, folks. Kidder. Birch able to pick it up. Ward.
Nice up by Van Orden.
Back to Kidder. Birch is there. Good block by Nightingale. And it's UCLA that has the set point.
Double block, Kelly Reeves and Zoe Nightingale, point UCLA. Back to serve, Kelly Reeves.
Reeves serving. Set to McMahon. Chance for UCLA to end it. Kidder. Hopped up by Ward. Gonna go back to Kidder. Off of the 6'6" blocker and out. And the UCLA Bruins win the opening set. Kidder with 6 kills, including the one to finish it off.
UCLA with a slow start, normally known as a fast starting team, but boy, Kidder's speed, Reeves' speed, spreading the offense out, creating a lot of space, and then hitting down the line off the hands of McMahon for set number 1.
The All-American Kidder with the finishing touch, and their coach, Mike Sealy, he's won one as a player now, trying to get another one as a coach.